AskReddit by Feisty 7487. What is the worst thing about being fat? Most chairs are uncomfortable, and a lot of them don't look very strong. Absolutely this, and going on airplanes. Missing out on activities with your loved ones because you physically can't do them. Or skipping them because of insecurities or stress about the activity. Chafing. Fuck yes. My thighs chafe like crazy. I have to put powder on them. Every time I get a little pain in my chest I think fuck, this is it. You'll get used to it. Or not. I'm kinda joking, but after a couple dozen times I just ignore it now. My 7-year-old kid looking at his stomach in the mirror and saying that he doesn't want to be like daddy. My dad lost weight after my 3-4-year-old niece ran up to him, patted his stomach, and loudly asked if there's a baby in there. Looking at your side profile and window reflections. I'm not that fat. Turns 90 degrees. Comma. If someone is dating you, you feel like it's either a prank or they lost a bet with their friends or something. You don't deserve it echoes. Knowing that almost everyone wishes you weren't. And a bonus, that everyone is grateful they aren't you. Simple things like cutting your toenails become a process. I can't believe how hard it is to tie my shoes with the compression of my belly against my chest. I have to stop for breath between shoes. I f***ing hate being fat, and I'm not even that fat. 52 5 feet 9 200 pounds. Having so many insecurities about it that I naturally just assume every other person that looks at me thinks the same things. Then I feel disgusted with myself. I feel bad that they have to look at me. Used to occupy 90% of my mental bandwidth and then I lost weight. It still occupies 90% of my mental bandwidth. I'm so confused. It's a vicious cycle. You are sad because you are fat. You get more fat because you are sad. Repeat until death. I eat cause I'm sad, and I'm sad cause I eat fat bastard. Austin Powers movie. Not to be able to fit in your nice clothes. OMG, the struggle is real. I have a bunch new clothes that I don't fit nicely. When I went from size L to XXL, I left my L shirts on their hangers and in my closet as a motivator to drop the extra weight. Once you go past XL, designers just give up and leave you little choice in style. For me, it's that every time I see myself in pictures, I have to reconcile that the mental image I have of myself isn't the reality that other people see. I know that I'm overweight, and I like to think that I'm honest with myself about how I look, but every time I see myself in a full body picture, or my profile from the waist up, I realize that I'm bigger than I see myself, and it honestly hurts. Every time. Same. In my head, I don't see myself as big as I am, and amp. Whenever I see a photo, or even looking in the mirror, I'm surprised it's me. For women's clothes, the default is huge ugly floral prints and cold shoulders. I hate this. I don't want to look like a fucking 70s armchair, thanks. And is it so fucking hard to put sleeves on tops? Actual, elbow length sleeves, not those fucking awful kitten sleeves. Clothing. It's like once you pass XL size, designers are having a laugh at the kinds of shit they make you wear. Eating in public. A lot of it stems from childhood abuse, but I can't even eat a tiny portion of food without feeling like everyone's secretly thinking I'm a pig. Or eating super slow so nobody's like, of course the fat guy finished first. Summer. I live in a hot country, Greece, and when I was obese I was suffering during summer, which is like 6 months here, sweating like a pig all the time. Also a quote which I found very accurate. Being obese is like being an addict, but your addiction is extremely obvious for everyone to see. People are making assumptions about your character and judge you before they even exchange a word with you, and you have to fight to change this perception. This gets really tiring. Not to mention, if you have a food addiction, you can't cut it out 100% like with some other addictions. Addicted to alcohol? It's not easy, but you could choose to never pick up another drink. Food? You have to keep facing your addiction multiple times a day in order to survive. Airplanes and roller coasters. The most embarrassing thing is when the restraints won't close and you get to be the fat person walking off when everyone else is ready to go. That's the worst I've ever felt about myself. Deleted. The back pains. My female best friend, 22, is the type of person to do small talk with Uber drivers, waiters at restaurants, and pretty much everyone. She is very upbeat and nice to everyone she meets, goes out of her way to help anyone that seems to be struggling. Recently she has put on a lot of weight, and I started to notice how people are not responding the way they usually do. If she is trying to ask a barista or the driver about their day etc, they would shut down the conversation or not respond at all. I didn't overthink it and thought that maybe I was seeing examples of people that usually don't like that sort of thing. She opened up to me a bit after and told me how this has become a common occurrence and how people are generally ruder or show no interest in conversing. She has also felt like some of her friends are not as nice or show no interest in spending time with her, and she is almost certain this has to do with her weight gain. This absolutely broke my heart because I've known her for 5 years now and I've never seen her treat someone poorly, and no matter how much she weighed or how she looked, she was always the type of person to ensure that other people felt important. Yes, I can relate. I have been on both ends multiple times in my life and it never stops being painful. Even the people closest to you treat you differently. I had a friend tell me that she didn't want me to be her bridesmaid unless I lost weight and became attractive again. As someone who has recently lost over 200 pounds, fucking everything. Clothes don't fit right and you only have so many places to buy. Your knees hurt. Your back hurts. Doing simple tasks like tying your shoes becomes a chore. I was afraid to sit for fear I'd break the chair. Afraid to eat because I felt like I was judged. And now that I'm pretty firmly in the category of skinny, it never goes away. My clothes have never fit this well, but I still feel like it's wrong. The idea of indulging even a little bit more fills me with more guilt than eating an entire pint of Ben and Jerry's used to, and I'm largely consumed by a fear of being fat again. It causes lifelong physical and psychological changes, some you won't even see until you're no longer fat enough to worry about it. Almost any physical activity is hard. This and sleep are the two biggest changes I noticed after losing a bunch of weight. I walk 3-5 miles a day now and have no pain from it, and I'm able to sleep well on a regular basis. The fact that you put your whole life on hold, telling yourself that you will resume living when you lose the weight, then not being consistent with said weight loss journey and basically never getting to truly live. One of my closest friends has always been uncomfortable with her above average size. I invited her out for a girls' weekend once and she confessed to me that if she went she'd pretend to enjoy herself, but really she'd spend the whole time miserably comparing herself to us all. That was one of the saddest things. I used to be fat. The one thing I don't miss is feeling self-conscious whenever I had a t-shirt on and doing the whole pull it away from your stomach thing. Edit. For all my homeboys suffering with this, I've learned that the right tighter fitting t-shirt makes you look slimmer. Embrace the moves. Need them TC tuggers. Feeling insecure during sex. Not wanting sex because you feel bad about your body. Everyone assuming you are a useless person. The stretch marks all over my body that will never disappear even after I lost the weight. Don't overthink about stretch marks. Even people who have never been obese often have them. Most people don't really care about them. Worst case scenario, if it really gets to you, there's laser treatments for stretch marks. the disappointment of seeing how beautiful an outfit looks on the hanger, then how ugly it looks when you try to fit it over your body. What's worse is when it's the size you thought you were. Knowing that when you take a picture you will never like it, despite people saying you look cute. It looks horrible and you hate having to do it because only a magical lens could show you how you want to be shown. Your addiction reflects on your body and people look down on you because of it. But other people with addictions can be a size 6 and people have more sympathy. Focus is on the addiction rather than the side effect. Same brain chemicals leading you down a destructive path, but yours is out there for the world to see. But a drug, sex or gambling addict can, for the most part, go undetected. It would help if clothing sizes were actually consistent. Nothing like losing some weight, going to buy something and actually needing a bigger size. Being treated differently than others. Former fat girl here, and when I lost weight people were suddenly much nicer to me. Being invisible to society. I lost a lot of weight over the past year. Now considered normal weight. It amazes me on a daily basis how many people actually speak to me now when out and about. Totally bizarre. My sister lost a bunch of weight and someone she had known for 20 years asked her out.